Good morning, y'all. This morning, I was just thinking about just some different things that I've been learning over the last couple of weeks. And stuff about accountability came to mind. And what do I mean when I say accountability? I mean taking a look at the part that I have played in, or, people in general may have played in their mistreatment. I know that's crazy, right? But if we're being honest, sometimes we give people matches to set our worlds on fire, right? And so what does that look like? Like, it was hard when I was in therapy and my therapist said, "So what could you have done differently in this situation? How might something you did or said change the outcome of a situation?" Right? Because it was hard for me to say I played a part in it because I allowed it. And that looks different for different situations. That might be the fact that you shared some intimate details of your life with someone who likes to gossip. And now I'm upset because she told everybody in our circle something that I told her in confidence. But the reality is, I knew she liked to gossip. So, what would make me any different? Or one of those situations where you have someone who's always asking to borrow money and you put yourself in a bind because they said that their lights are going to be turned off, just to find out the reason they didn't have the money to pay the light bill is because they bought a designer bag or something of that nature. Or a situation where um your significant other has been unfaithful, and then they say to you, "I'm going to do better. This will never happen again. It was a mistake." But they're still hiding their phone. The phone's always on silent. If you say, "Hey, can I use your phone to look something up?" they have a fit because they don't want you having access to their phone. And then you're upset because you find out 3 months later they were still cheating, you know? And so I think being accountable for the part we play means being discerning, paying attention to signs when we see things that aren't quite right, um, and then believing people when they show us who they are. I think a lot of times we see people for who we hope they are, and not, or who we hope or want them to be, instead of who they actually are. And it's hard sometimes because we want to see the best in people, especially the people that we love. But sometimes we have to love folks from a distance, you know, because sometimes our worlds are on fire and we are literally giving folks the matches. Every time we're vulnerable, every time we allow someone to take advantage of us, every time, we offer ourselves, we overextend ourselves for folks who wouldn't do the same for us. Yeah, that's rough. But just something to think about, guys. And of course, I'm not blaming anyone for any of their, issues. But I'm just saying, take a look at ourselves. Because I'm gonna tell you, when my therapist asked me that, it made me mad. I was so mad at her when she asked me that, because I was like, I know you lied. Ain't no way. But she wasn't saying that I brought it on myself, but she was saying that I played a part in that I didn't act on it when it happened. I kept allowing the same behaviors. And so I had to be accountable for that. If for no other reason that I was being mistreated for longer than I had to be. Because I could have always walked away, you know? So, yeah. Stop giving folks matches. Love y'all. Bye.